The ideas expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect the views or opinions of any current or previous employers. Hey guys, on the podcast today, Jason and I talked about a couple things. We start out by venting about how stupid this whole coronavirus pandemic crap is and how it's making us crazy and affecting our construction and everybody in general. Then we talk about dynamic scheduling and how it's super important to stay flexible during emergencies and things like that, and how important it is to truly understand how your trades work, what their needs are, so that you can be flexible with your schedule and really understand what kind of changes you need to make in order to keep on going with your production schedule. We also offer some advice on what to do if you have downtime. Some in construction do. Some states have just eliminated all construction. Some haven't. If you've got downtime, we offer a little bit of advice on how you can fill that time up and still stay productive and how to better yourself while you've got that downtime. As always, go to the website, go to buildertactics.com, check it out. Go to our partners page, click the TrueWork link, go there, fill out a story, what you're doing during the pandemic, how you're bettering yourself, you're bettering your trades, bettering our industry, whatever. You get an opportunity to win some really fantastic gear. You know, you've heard us talk about TrueWork before. Their gear is awesome. Check it out. You're going to love it. Go to their website, truework.com. Check out their gear, their pants, their hoodies, their shirts. It's all awesome gear. I wear it all the time. You're going to love it. As always, follow us on social media, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to quality podcasts. Don't forget to download the manual. There's tons of information in there. I'm constantly tweaking it, rewriting it, updating it. Check it out. You can find it on the website under the Foundations page, or you can find a hard copy on Amazon. Just search for Builder Tactics. You'll find it. I am having a better day than I was having yesterday, because you know what's just tough is trying to stay motivated in this bullshit COVID-19 world we're living in right now. I hate it.
I know.
I went to the grocery store. Everybody's standing there in their stupid masks. I'm like, this is just stupid. I hate it, dude.
Yeah, of course. It's ruining everything.
It is literally ruining everything. Where was I? I went to, where the hell did I go? I went somewhere. Oh, I had my car serviced. You know, freaking check engine light came on or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I got to go to the dealership because it's still under warranty. So I pull in there. This was actually this morning. I pull in there into the little garage, and the guy comes walking out, and he's wearing a mask. And I looked at him. It's just him and me. Nobody else anywhere. And I was like, dude, do I have to put a mask on? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I put my stupid mask on, had a 2-minute conversation with him, went into like the waiting area for service. There's nobody in there. I was like, really? I gotta sit here by myself with a mask on? It's like, this is just stupid. Anyway.
So it's completely gotten to you. It's
completely gotten to me, dude. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about, man, was so here's what happened. So yesterday I was super depressed. I was just depressed, man. I'm going from job site to job site, and it's just, you know, construction's still going for the most part. Not everywhere, but, you know, in our region, construction's still going, which is good.
Mostly, yeah.
But it's just with all the, you know, we're like social people. I can't remember the last time I actually saw you in person. You know what I mean? Or anybody else. You know, I love being social, hanging out with people. You know, this whole social environment. I like being social. So I was just feeling really beat down yesterday, man. I'm like, everything sucks. This sucks, you know, and trying to stay motivated. So what I did actually to kind of turn my mood around, I actually worked out twice yesterday. I got some cardio, and then I have a couple of heavy bags, and I was working the heavy bags, and I was lifting weights. So I felt good by the time I went to bed. And I woke up this morning, 5 a.m., worked out again, you know, feeling good, feeling motivated. And, you know, for me, exercise makes you feel good, right? It releases endorphins, makes you feel good. So
definitely.
You know, so I'm
part of my mental health too.
Yeah, man. So I'm like looking at my to-do list, and whereas yesterday I was like, F this list. The world is coming to an end anyway. I don't care. I don't need to do anything on this. But today I was able to, I put a big dent in my to-do list today. So
right.
Just because I was able to change my mental.
There's a term for that. There's a term for that kind of day that you have, and it's called a quit day. Today's a quit day. Today's a day that you feel like you fantasize about just being like, you know what? Suck it. I'm out. Well, and literally, like, I joke about that. After being in the Army where you could never get out, there's nothing you can do. Like, until your contract is up, you're here.
Yeah.
Like, reserving the right to feel like I could be like, screw it. I don't know. That's a little bit liberating.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you call it?
Dude, but you know what? A quit day. Yeah. Today's a quit day. So tough. And then you know what happens? Almost after every single time you have a day where you feel like that, the next day you get a bunch of stuff done. Because you get up all angry, and then you're like, this is so unorganized. And then you get organized. Then you get the couple of answers that you need. And the next thing you know, you're right back where you need to be.
Yeah. I guess that's what today was. Yesterday afternoon and evening and today. I don't know, man. It's tough, man. Are you seeing that with your guys? You talking to your guys to say, like,
Totally.
How you doing mentally?
Sure. I think my message is always like, yo, head up. Like, be thankful. If you're stressed right now because things aren't going as planned and you've got so much to do and you can't hardly get it all done, that means you've got a job and you weren't a casualty of this thing at this point. Yeah. And like, that's a thing to be optimistic about, and also should be a kick in the butt to do the best job that you freaking can, especially right now. Cause I'm sure if you're in this industry, or if you're in any industry right now in the entire world, you probably know someone or work with someone who's been laid off or temporarily let go, or, it's all over the place. I'm thankful to have a job and have something to do.
Yeah. I am too, man. It's funny you say that because, I know there's a lot of people that are unemployed. Shit, right. I could have friends that are unemployed right now. I would have no idea because I haven't had any contact with anybody. Maybe that's what I had to do is just start reaching out to people.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is this, like breakdown you're having?
I'm not having a breakdown, man. I'm just like I'm worried. So I started being extra nice to people. I'll give you an example. I went to Lowe's the other day because Gina was like, "Hey, we just had our 21st wedding anniversary, which is super cool."
Ooh, congrats.
On Saturday, and she was like, "Look, I want a fire pit." She's wanted a fire pit forever. She's like, "I found this one at Lowe's. It's made out of stone. You got to put it together. This is what I want for I want this as our anniversary gift." And I'm like, "Okay." So I order it. I go to pick it up. It's super unorganized. I showed up in a truck, this big ass truck I borrowed, and I'm like, "I'm here to pick this up. Here's my proof that I bought it." And they're like, "Well, did we pull it for you?" And I'm like, "How the hell do I know? I'm here to pick it up." And they're like, "You got to go."
No. I don't actually work here. That's why I asked you.
Right. So I'm like, "I don't know." And they're like, "Well, you got to go check to make sure we pulled it." So I'm like, "Okay." So you go in the back, and I'm like, "Hey, did you guys pull this?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to pull my truck around." And they're like, "Well, no, you got to go get a slip." And I'm like, "What?" So I'm like, "I got to go wait in that line again?" And they're like, "Yeah, they should have told you." So I go back up. I wait in the stupid line again. I get up to the front, and I'm like, "Hey," and it's this woman named Gail. She was there the whole time. I'm like, "Hey, I'm back. They told me I need a slip so I can pick the thing up." And she goes, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, they pulled it." And I'm like, "Yeah, they pulled it." And she's like, "Okay, here's your slip. Hey, and after you load it in your truck, you got to come back in here." And I said, "What? I got to wait in this line again?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, and I'm telling myself, "Oh, I'm here. I'm going to be super nice to everybody." I'm like, "Okay." So I go, load the thing up, stand back in the line.
See you in a few minutes, Gail.
So I'm in this line 3 freaking times. And people are super pissed, and people are yelling at each other in the line, and they're like, "Back off." And they're yelling at the Lowe's employees and everything. So I finally get up there the 3rd time, and I hand the slip to Gail, and I said, okay, I'm back. I picked it up. It's loaded up. What else do I need to do? And she's like, oh, you want me to email your receipt? And I said, Gail, I'm good. I said, you know what? You have a great day. You're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep smiling. Thank you for all your help today. And she smiles and she's like, thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, you're welcome, because that's as good as it's getting for you today, lady. So anyway.
And then you talked about her on your podcast.
Yeah. And then I was like,
perfect.
Yeah. So, but I'm like telling myself, like I went to the store today. I went to the grocery store today. I put my stupid mask on and I went in there. And, the employees are in there, and I was so over the top nice to everybody. Like the lady checking me out. She's like, okay, going through the motions. She's like, have a nice day. And I'm like, hey, you have a nice day. You're doing a great job today. Thank you for being here. And she's like, okay, thanks. And she's smiling, and I'm walking out. And I was at, a big box store, and they're checking my receipt. And the guy's like, okay, you're good to go. And I was like, you're good to go. Great job. Have a great day. Because
are you scaring people with niceness?
I might be scaring people. They're like, hey, you were in here last week and you called me an asshole. So, I'm feeling like I'm beat down, and I'm trying to put some positiveness out there in the world as I go about my day.
Sure. I feel like I do that for a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
In written word, emails, text messages, and phone calls, and WebExes.
Dude,
how many WebExes have you done in the last week?
Oh my God, too many. Dude, I feel like you do. I feel like you do that a lot. It's I like talking to you. Every now and then I get the super duper pissed off Jason. But I feel like you do that. I feel like you do a good job of keeping an upbeat attitude, and it's so
Thanks,
important.
Buddy. Thanks.
I really do.
I work super hard at it because I feel like I'm one of two guys when you see me at work, and I'm either like super positive, happy-go-lucky, or I've had it and like pissed at everything. And
dude.
I don't know. I try not to be the latter.
I mean, I feel like that's construction, man, because it gets frustrating sometimes.
Well, it's stressful, and the things that we discussed talking about today, that I keep saying is dynamic scheduling, and you're like, you just like saying that word, I think.
Well, it's because you said that. You said you want to talk about dynamic scheduling, and I'm like, I wonder what exactly he means by that.
I just mean, and I think we've talked about this in recent past too. Like, the only thing certain is that things are super uncertain right now, and that you need to be on your toes, because you can't be sitting flat-footed and not prepared, with what you're supposed to be producing, right? From my level, it's a couple of communities. We're looking at a number of different paces, and, the plans right now, and probably most of the country, are either, certain states are like at a standstill, and they're going to have to pick back up where they left off when they come back online. Or some of them have been working like we have in Virginia. Like, we can do pretty much everything. We can keep working. We have to slow our pace down a little bit, because you can't have so many guys in one place. But for the most part, you're able to keep moving, but dealing with constraints. And I feel like most companies and most people protecting their businesses are like, hold up on all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Like spec homes and development of some kinds and stuff like that. But then it's like, hold on, all hope is not lost, because, there's been some movement. We've had a couple of sales, I feel like you're seeing that in the market. People are saying, home building is going to be a big deal in the DC metro area in the near future.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of good things about it, and I'm optimistic that it's going to come back around really fast, and people still need a place to live, man. Still a deficit of homes in our area.
It's funny you say that,
good
because
business to be in.
There's a couple of things I just wanted to hit on, because you're right about needing to stay optimistic. So one of the things I did, I shut off I'm a news junkie, man. I love listening to the news, but I found that I have had to shut it off, because it's so doom and gloom that all the optimism, like you and I are privy to some, reports on, market movements and things like that. So we get to see the positive, if you will. And it's super important for people to realize we're not going away. But if you listen to the news, it sucks. Everything sucks. And it doesn't. You're right. People still need places to live. They are still looking to, upgrade their residency or, buy their first home. The
people who are in the process of outgrowing their home right now are still outgrowing their home. If not now more than ever.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty much in this house with my family, and we're all coming apart at the seams like half of the time.
a lot of fighting. Well, it's funny though, because it's not just, so I was having a conversation with a guy in commercial construction, and I said, he does a lot of tenant fit outs. And I was like, man, are you worried that all these companies are going to realize they don't need this volume of office space and your business is going to dry up? And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, what's going to happen is people are going to realize there's a better way to work. He said two things are going to happen. And I hadn't put this into perspective. He was like, one, if people go to a smaller office because they allow more people to work from home, they're going to upgrade that office, and which is going to put the commercial world into business. And he said, and second, all the existing offices are going to have to be retrofit, because if we're going to work right now, he's like, we've got tons of people crammed into small spaces. That's not going to be the new norm after this. So all these offices are going to have to be rebuilt essentially to allow for greater distance between employees. So he was like, So even in the commercial world, there's the optimism when we come out of this that there's going to be just a ton of work for people to do. So, and I was like, dude, that is fantastic.
So the whole point of the dynamic schedule comment was, like, just, you have to be prepared. You got to know what's coming up. You got to know how long it takes to build something. You have to be prepared to not spend money where you don't have to, and, use a smart attitude when making decisions, to move forward. And as a construction manager, you, to help support your business, have to make sure that you're able to do those things, and that you're not committed to building something and you can't produce it in time, or you're producing something that you shouldn't be too soon.
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean.
Well, okay, yeah, that's kind of where I thought you were going with that, because it all comes down to understanding your building cycle and your trades well enough to adapt to the external forces that are forced upon our industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my class, when I teach, when I talk about scheduling, one of the things that I just emphasize a lot is that, hey, you have to understand your trade partner's cycle. How long does it take them to do this? So that if, something happens, you can adjust your schedule and say, well, this guy needs this many days. That's not negotiable, but you know what? I can throw another trade in there, or maybe I can spread them apart. What's critical, what's not.
Right. Or be realistic. If your, plumber's telling you that they're on skeleton crews and they've got, one guy where there used to be two, and, you have to adjust your schedule for that. Prepare for it. Don't end up the guy who gets to the point where he's super behind and he has to make excuses for what happened in weeks past. Prep for it now while you get a chance.
Or the guy that just constantly complains and yells at his trade partners because they're not doing exactly what he said he was going to do, because he doesn't understand, or she doesn't understand how their cycle works, or how their product is installed, or whatever. That's huge. People ought to take this opportunity. Totally. People keep telling me, hey, what are you doing with your downtime? And I look at them like they got three heads, because I don't have any.
Oh my God, I've never worked so hard, dude.
I know.
From the house, at, a couple of days a week, sitting at my plastic fold-out table that I'm going camping, so I'm going to have to take apart my office for a couple of days because I'm taking the table with me.
Oh, that's right. You're going camping. When are you leaving? Friday? Thursday?
Yeah, we're out.
Good for you, man.
Going to be off-grid for a few days turkey hunting, and I can't freaking wait.
I'll bet, man.
I need it.
Dude,
I need it. I don't know about you, but I've been working like round the clock. I get up super early, and I can't.
Man. 7 days a week.
Early. Yes.
Dude, I forget what day it is. It's funny. I was actually telling my wife, I was like, God, I gotta take a vacation. And it seems like such a weird thing to say when I know there are so many people sitting at home. but I'm like, I'm not off.
You're not at home. Right.
You know, so, you know, it's weird. And I feel like it's like that for most people in construction, with the exception of probably some general contractors that maybe specialize in residential work. You know, I don't know. I should probably look into it. I'm not sure how our brothers and sisters in renovation work are doing. I feel like maybe they're not working as hard, or not as hard, but I feel like there maybe is less work in renovations right now than there is in new construction. I have to look into that actually to find out. Or if you're in renovation and you're, you know, let us know. Shoot us an email, something, a text.
Definitely.
Not a
I'd like
text.
to know.
Yeah, email. I don't know. Whatever. I almost deleted all my social media accounts the other day, dude. That's how depressed I got. I was like, I hate everything.
That's very hot and cold, dude.
Thank God I didn't.
You need to do some yoga.
I know it. So oddly enough, I've actually been. I started writing another book on Zen and the martial arts. Did I tell you the title?
No.
It's called Zen in Construction Management. How to find inner peace while losing your shit in the middle of the street.
That's an interesting choice.
Oh my God. It's going to be a bestseller for sure. I'll probably sell it too.
I will probably read it. If it actually comes onto paper, I'll read it.
But one of the things that I've been doing to try and just stay focused, so I'm constantly remembering, I'm constantly hearing past martial arts instructors' voices in my head. And the things that they would say to me is, you know, stay centered, stay focused, you know, stop worrying about everything else. And, you know, there's all these Zen concepts that they used to constantly reinforce. So I started writing them all down, and I find that they just help me to focus and stay centered on what I'm working on, so I don't get distracted by all the crap that's out there, if that makes sense. So I started.
It totally makes sense.
So I wrote it all down, and then I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And I expanded on it a little bit more, and then I expanded on it a little bit more, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be a book, but I'll probably start posting it on the blog here shortly. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with anything. I'll probably delete this from the podcast. Oh my God.
God, you know, you said about the masks and you can't stand it. Like, I don't like it either.
Yeah, I hate
but
it.
I also feel like I don't want to be around people when I get into those places.
Dude, I was at Lowe's. I was telling you I was at Lowe's, and everybody in there is wearing a mask. And then some old dude comes strolling in, no masks, big smile on his face, like, F you guys, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm 100 years old. I don't care anymore. And I looked at that dude, and I was like, you are awesome. It's like, you're probably going to be dead tomorrow, but today, you're awesome.
Yeah, your life is a terrible risk, but look at you.
Only dude in the store not wearing a mask. So I got a construction manager right now wears 2.
Right.
I'm like, really?
Well,
I don't think you need to.
mean,
but,
yeah, well,
you know, whatever. If it gives him peace.
Yeah, a little bit of, you know, you got to keep moving.
You got to keep
moving.
moving.
Got to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man. So, you know, so back to dynamic scheduling. I know we diverted quite a bit. You know, what I was actually getting at before I went off on a tangent was that, you know, if you're one of the souls that has extra time right now, learning about your trades and the work that they do, I mean, I think you should be spending this time, if you've got downtime, making yourself better at construction and construction management. You know, there is so much information out there on the internet, so many schools offering free online classes. There's just so much information that if it was me, if I was, you know, just starting my career and I wanted to learn about trades or whatever, now's the time to do it. How does a heat pump work? How does a furnace work? Right. You know, what's a heat exchanger? You know, what is green building? You know, what is this? What is that? I would be spending my time trying to learn it so that when it came to scheduling, because the best schedulers, the people that are most able to kind of roll with the punches and change their schedule and have a dynamic schedule and be able to move things around are the ones that truly understand what goes into each
what it
phase.
takes. What it takes for each trade. Exactly. And what manpower it takes and how long it'll be expected and all of the things in between.
Yeah.
So yes.
Dude, and you hit on it.
Agree with that.
You hit on it again earlier. You were like, ask the trades, what they're dealing with, because that's the thing. A lot of our trades are mom and pop, contractors, and and you have no idea what they could be dealing with at home. You know what I mean? They could have,
sure.
4 elderly parents, his and hers living at their house or whatever.
Totally.
They could have young children. They could have, that are home from school because all the schools are closed. God only knows what they're dealing with. So it's important, as partners to say, hey, I need you to do whatever. Are you able to do this? Rather than just demanding that the work get done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
definitely. Some of the work can't get done. I mean, we've seen it. So
yeah,
got to find other ways.
Yeah, that's it, man. So when you and I have talked about it before, man, I think that this little catastrophe we're going through right now is going to really change the way we work as a society, not just in construction, but in general,
Sure.
So.
Yep, definitely. I mean, there's a ton of people working at their house doing stuff that they've never done at home before and literally getting work done. I mean, I'm seeing it all around construction.
Yeah.
Lots of the trade partners that we work with too, a lot of their employees that manage the office stuff are at home.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I was on a conference call today. Gina doesn't listen to these podcasts, so I think I'm safe to tell you this. She came up next to me in my office and started rooting through the drawer. It was so loud. I couldn't hear what was going on the conference call, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, how long is this going to last? And she's digging through, and she finally closes the drawer, and I'm like, oh, good. Then she opens the one underneath it. Starts doing the same damn thing.
Starts digging through it.
I was like, oh, my God. I had to get up and walk out of my office.
I know.
I was like, what is
hilarious.
going on? I came back in there, and I was like, seriously? I'm on a conference call? You're digging through that drawer? And she's like, you're not the only one who lives here. It's like, okay.
Yeah, right.
All right. Point taken.
Never mind your career, sir.
I'm like, I'm trying to work. What's that?
My wife put me in my place like 5 times today, and she's mad at me right now. So
Why?
This working from home thing is terrible because I'm an idiot, dude. Let's face it. You want the honest truth? I did a series of things wrong, very small things, but a series of them.
Yeah.
It led to me being a jerk and her pointing it out.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think that everybody, with people working from home, it's so new. And I think at first it was like, oh, that's so great. You're working from home, blah, blah, blah. You're not laid off. But now people are like, get out of my space. You know what I mean? I think that cabin fever, that's why all those people are rushing to the beaches in California and Florida. They're like, get me the F out of here.
Right.
And
right. No, I feel like that. I mean, I've been on the job site 2 days a week for the last couple of weeks. I'm other days of the week I've been running stuff around. Let's face it, like that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a glorified courier. I'm a courier of items and information.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But I don't know. It's been good to get out, that's for sure. And dude, I'm really looking forward to getting in the woods. That's going to be
oh my God, I'll bet.
So great.
Yeah, I went up to Jake's cabin last Saturday, man. It was fantastic. I was only there for, the evening, but shit, it was great. I'll take it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, man. Just a change of scenery. Shooting guns, drinking beer. It was fantastic. Not at the same time for the purposes of this podcast.
Yeah, but I've been there. It's pretty awesome.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the show today. As always, go check out truework.com. Their gear is awesome. Check out buildertactics.com. That's our website. There's tons of information on there about construction management, how to get better. Our manual can be found on there on the foundations page. Download the manual. You love it. It's $10. Filled with information. Also, remember to follow us on social media, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, guys. We really, really appreciate it. And as always, we are thinking about you guys out there in the field. Stay safe, stay healthy, Drop us a line. Let us know what you're doing. See ya.